So welcome back, everybody, to the Northern Illinois Wrestling Podcast. I was looking. The last time we got together on one of these was about 2 months ago. So it's been a
It's
while.
been a while.
Yeah, and so we got started a little bit already, but Marty was updating us on the Hawkeye news. What's the news, Marty?
The 97 pounder from Wartburg College, a Division III school in Iowa. They picked up the 97 pounder, and I think he's a 3-time Division III national champ.
Is that
Yeah.
the ND Yami or something like that, right?
Yep.
He's tough.
He'll fill that hole that they need because they got a really good 97 pounder coming in next year, but it'd be good for him to set a year.
And who else did they pick up? They're talking about the transfer portal. Iowa picked up a few others.
Bailey, Jordan Williams,
Peterson from Rutgers.
the kid from Rutgers, Dean or whatever.
Dean Peterson.
Yeah.
Who didn't they pick up?
Yeah, well, they didn't pick up a 33-pounder, I don't think.
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Yeah,
They
did.
have one.
They don't need one.
Second in state.
Yeah.
State.
In country.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have to pick up Drake Ayala, but
So
Drake
they got
Ayala,
Bailey to fill 41. Williams, this is his third school now, will fill in at 49 for him.
And that Bailey, will he be big enough at 41?
I think so.
He's an Illinois kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an Illinois kid. He's definitely big enough to go
tall.
41. Yeah.
I think might have been some of his issue this year was maybe the weight cut. I don't know though, but
Yeah. But he All-American the year before, and
third as a freshman, I want to say, right?
Yeah, I think he beat. I don't know what place he got. I know he All-American. That was the first All-American.
I got a
Little
question.
Rock.
I got a question for Dan.
Yep.
Are we going to the national duels?
I have not looked enough at them, but I would like to. When is it and where is it?
I think it's in Oklahoma. I think it's in
beginning of the season.
And November 15th and 16th.
I probably can pencil that in.
And Iowa's already committed.
I see quite a few schools have committed so far, right?
You see the money they're going to get paid?
What's up?
You see sorry, we jump things.
No. You stay there. You keep talking about the duels. I'll be right back in 1 second.
Yeah, don't they get $1 million to go and wrestle?
Yeah, well, they get $1 million. They're dispersing $1 million. So, like, if you win, I think you get $250,000 or maybe $350,000, and then it slides down by placing.
Lost you.
You can't hear me?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. You got it?
I can't hear you. What
Uh-oh.
happened here?
Dalton. Oh, my God. Jesus.
So we going to the national duels?
Yes. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. No.
Can you hear
my new attire?
We lost Dan. He's struggling.
Yeah. No, but those national duels, it looks like they're going to be pretty entertaining.
Hey, I got to jump out and jump back in. I lost all my audio here.
All right.
Technology at educational places.
Yeah, well.
It's going to be, I think I'm going to go. I'd rather go to that than the nationals.
Yeah, we'll be a good environment to kind of see, if they run a really good event, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's obviously, Penn State's not going to be there, but I think there's going to be enough excitement that it's going to be worth it. So
Penn State needs to go.
Yeah, but I'm kind of with the idea. Yeah. I think I'm with the idea that it would be nice if they were there, but it is cool to create, the dialogue. Again, some of the matches that you're going to get to see are going to be a little bit different. So, yeah.
You know what's great is you and I is going to Iowa, and you and I could meet up in it, which they never wrestle each other.
Why not?
What?
That's a duel that should happen every year.
Oh my God, yes. I think I don't know, but I think there's a tip between the Schwabs, the two brothers wrestled for Iowa, and the Brands. I think there's just
What school isn't there though?
Right.
Come on. We're talking about the Brands. I mean, they don't make anyone happy. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that.
and they don't need to.
Yeah, no, I think they also waited probably to just build Northern Iowa's program a little bit better. I mean, so obviously they had a really tough 84-pounder the last couple of years, but I think their team is getting stronger.
Yeah, they had great showing at the tourney. I mean,
They did.
They finished second at the Big 12 and came down to Hendrickson winning to seal it for Okie State. Otherwise, they would have tied, I think, right, for the title, the Big 12 title.
Yeah, they would have.
So, which can we go back to maybe like one of the first podcasts of the year, and I made a comment about the heavyweight champion, and Hendrickson probably could win it, and you guys, in a roundabout, belittled me, said no one had a chance to beat Stevenson. I stuck with my guns, Okie State, and shot heard around the world.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have any video evidence.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, we can go back through the podcast. I mean,
it's all up here.
Yeah, I think everybody was a little bit surprised of that result. Obviously, did you pick him in your pool, McNames?
No, I did not, because
so you thought he was going to win until you had.
Well, I had picked a different guy at that.
Who's your other number two or number four? Sorry, number three.
Was two. Hendrickson was either three,
2 or 3.
Was Hamidi the 3 seed?
Yeah,
he might have been.
That's who I think I picked there.
Here, I got a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
So we had that wrestling pool.
Yeah.
And I never got to see the final results because my last day was phenomenal, and I thought I could have snuck up there. And who won it? It was it Rob?
Rob won it.
I think I would have been beaten on his heels a little bit.
He had it pretty much cinched before the finals.
Did he? But I just wonder. I was just wondering what he scored and what I don't know how much I scored.
I could go back. I can find it. I don't know if it got updated after the finals.
I don't know if it did or not either. I mean, I had I think I had 5 guys or 6 guys win on that Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the national tournament was a wild one.
It was awesome.
Yeah, what did you guys think about the finals and kind of just how it went in general?
I did not like that they started was the 84-pound match. It made no and then you ran in regular order. I just let it run its course. I know it was something memorable, but so was the Stevenson match. So I don't know why they.
Right, I agree.
They started it didn't really. If you're just going to go a random order, then, but just some great wrestling and some great performances from guys. I mean, Nebraska the last 3 weeks of the season showed up to wrestle. I mean, that was phenomenal by them.
ESPN Plus is doing such a great job of coverage that it's hard for me to have to. There's no way in hell to go to Philly anyhow. But it's just going to be hard for me to go to nationals unless it's in St. Louis again or something close nearby, because it's just incredible to watch.
Yeah. We were actually at the Big Tens talking because it was in Philly. We're talking to some Penn State fans, and they said they drove all the way to the Big Tens this year to go because it was cheaper than going to the Nationals in Philly.
Yeah, I heard it was expensive as hell.
I mean, I guess good for the sport, but I don't know.
In 2028, it's coming to Minneapolis, and they're going to put it back into the Vikings football field, though. If I'm still alive by then, which I should be.
Yeah.
Considering that's only 3 years away, so.
Right. I think I'll still be kicking.
Yeah.
You might be tough to replace on the podcast. So. We better start doing some interviewing.
Yeah, some quick interviews.
Well,
you know what I decided what we should be called? 3 bald guys. But I'm not bald. Mine's by choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. Let's see. We should call it Cauliflower Ear Podcast. But I had a bunch of guys texting me, like high school buddies and stuff, trying to give me a name for it.
Yeah. Well, Marty, what did you think about the Nationals, though? Your Hawkeyes?
I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, they spent $250,000 for two guys that scored 1 point. There you go. That's the whole gist of it right there.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's, man, that transfer portal is just crazy to me.
Isn't it, though? I mean, if you looked at how many, I mean, all the guys that have recommitted to schools, but did you see how many are left still?
Yeah.
I think they're going to end up going some D3 programs.
So I two sides to it. Like, you know, I'm not a big fan of it. I can understand it, you know, but I think it's going to hurt some of these smaller programs unless they're picking up these guys who end up not going somewhere like Little Rock. You're building a program. You got, you know, these guys who are all Americans, and now they're jumping ship, you know. And if you're a high school kid coming out, if you're not one of the tops, I mean, I guess those are the programs you end up at, and then you enter the portal, and that's your recruiting. But
that's like the kid from Ryder. Ryder had an All-American this year. Yep, he jumped in the portal. He's already gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
and it's not just wrestling; it's all sports across the board. I mean, you're like the Cinderellas in basketball. I think are going to be gone because those guys, they have a good year, and then I forget what team it was. Their whole starting five entered the portal.
So Iowa baseball, they have no portal money. They just they get who they can, but they get a lot of kids from junior colleges in Iowa. And I was listening to the game the other day, and they said there's 30 guys on their roster from Iowa.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many guys they carry in baseball, maybe 40.
Yeah,
but they pick up JUCO kids and get them to come to school. So, I mean, that's just like Iowa picking up this Division III kid, you know?
Yeah, that's a huge pickup for him, too.
It is. I think he'll All-American.
I mean, they really had a good offseason right now.
They have.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. So Brian Davis, you know, was a longtime coach at Sycamore, big Iowa fan at the Big Tens. I mean, just riding him. Like, they need to make a change. You got to get rid of these guys. If things aren't getting done, you know. Then they go to the NCAA tournament. Disappointing showing for some of the guys. But 3 guys in the finals. I mean, that's, you know, he's calling, oh, should we still fire him? I was like, well, maybe. He only won 1 match. You know, I don't know.
You know, the 97-pounder, what the hell's his name, from Iowa?
Buchanan?
Yeah. Man, his interview about Iowa wrestling, it was in an Iowa newspaper, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like he just, I mean, everything, not just wrestling per se, but just in life, the stuff that he learned in a year, you know, like how to live your life the right way, clean, good, you know.
It was his 4th school, I think, right?
Hey, don't make fun of people that travel the country a little bit. You know, you get a much more
broader education.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how to swing dance. I wouldn't have done that if I stayed in one spot.
Where'd you swing dance at? Nebraska?
Yeah, they had a lot of swing dancing in Nebraska.
A lot of swingers out there.
Maybe swingers.
I didn't learn that, but yeah, I mean, what do you? Who else is on the radar as far as having a? I mean, obviously what I was going to go back to is I was listening to a podcast with Lane Kiffin, and he was talking about how no longer are some of the programs like Alabama able to hold the best kid in the country 3 deep. They only can have. They're going to have. So he actually was talking about how smaller programs are going to get access to some of these good guys because the big money isn't going to be able to hold all of them, right? Unless they just start spending extra NIL money to keep guys on the backup squad. So I do think that there's going to be actually a little bit more opportunity for smaller programs to get some of these better kids that maybe would stay at a big program before because they didn't have opportunities pulling them away. Now you got to back up at Iowa or Oklahoma State like Braden Thompson. If you present the right situation, you can actually get them away from the university and kind of bring them to a different one. So I do think that that's going to balance a little bit too. You're going to see you might not see the team aspect improve as far as smaller programs in the short term, but you're going to be able to see a national champion or an All-American from some of these smaller programs that maybe traditionally didn't have it all the time.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like I said, there's two sides to it. You're trying to build a program, and you bring those guys in, and once they AA, now maybe they look to see, all right, I know I can go here, get a little bit more money. I don't know. I mean, any All-American in your program is good for your program, right? It gives notoriety. If they stay, they stay. If they don't, you're building.
And they're saying too that they're going to have 30 scholarship athletes, right, for wrestling. I think that's what they're doing. How are you going to get 30 guys that are going to want to stay in a program when they're 3 deep?
Right. Yeah, and I've heard, I won't name the team, but I heard that one of the teams in the Big Ten is going to actually be going all the way down to 26 people on the roster. So some places are going to actually have less than 30 people on the roster based on what their athletic director wants them to have.
Is that school in the Chicago area?
I don't
because know. Northwestern has always been limited.
Oh no. Yeah. Northwestern is one of them that won't have a full roster anyways. But when I was talking to Joe, I think I was talking to Joe Rao about it. He was explaining how they've never had a 30-man roster. So now it's actually giving them a little bit more of a competitive advantage of the fact that they don't actually have that many kids anyways. So it's bringing the overall field, down from 35. I also heard that the RTC, the kids that get cut or are placed off of the lineup are going to be able to wrestle in the RTC. However, once you wrestle for the RTC, you can no longer come back to the university program. So these are just rumors that I'm hearing, but I'm hearing that they're going to try to keep people from using the RTC as a buffer zone for roster stuff.
So if you went to Illinois and, hey, we're going to not have you in our room this year, you're not making a 30-man, but train was the Illinois RTC, but so you just lost your Illinois eligibility?
That's what I'm hearing. Yep.
Well, that's the old gray shirt thing, right? Basically.
Right.
You're no longer to be a gray shirt.
Well, no, you will be able to gray shirt because you won't go to school. You won't go to the university right away or whatever.
Okay.
I would assume that the gray shirt is kind of what I've been kind of
you go to community college in the area, right?
Yeah. Or yeah. And again, that's something that I'm really looking into is like when and if the JUCO thing goes through where the 2 years of eligibility don't count towards your Division I eligibility. Now I can encourage, and again, I've been encouraging some kids after high school, go to our Rock Valley and take a couple of years and just try to learn and grow and be a volunteer coach for a local, high school and just keep growing and mentally maturing and getting your skills up. And I'm sure there'll be more opportunities if you get better. So
in the right setting.
Yeah.
I think you go to the right place and whatever.
I always thought Rock Valley should have had a wrestling program anyhow. They had one a long time ago. But...
Who's that, Rock Valley?
Yeah.
No, long time ago.
Yeah.
Back when you were riding your horse to school.
Me?
Yeah.
I rode a donkey.
Yeah. Well, hey, real quick, going back to Braden Thompson, he's staying, I think, now at Okie State. He put in and then decided, which is crazy to think he was kind of forgot about by me last year that he was there, because he had to be behind
the Hamidi and Plot.
Yeah. And the year before, I think he got quite a bit of time in the lineup.
Yeah, no, he's very good. I from what I understand, he didn't go into the portal. People were just on his behalf kind of throwing it out to see what kind of offers he would get. Again, I think that's another play. I think some schools probably tell their kid to go into the portal just to see what's out there. Hey, go in the portal right now. I want to hear what these coaches have to offer. I mean, I would. If I'm a coach at a college program and I got a kid, I'm like, hey, dude, listen, go in the portal, find out what's going on out there. I'm okay with that.
Wonder if that's what happened with the Tennessee quarterback and he realized, shit, I can't get more than what Tennessee's giving me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and now no one wants me.
Well, do you think that's true? Do you think that's true, or is there more to that story that isn't really being told? Because the kid is good, and people are definitely interested in a good quarterback. So I feel like they're making a little bit more to
there's probably a little bit more to just the money aspect. Maybe there's something
because the media coverage
personality.
the media coverage seems to be very biased, and so I'm tending to think like, is this like a power play to kind of like check the because again, I mean, why wouldn't you explore opportunities? What is,
Yeah, but I guess if you, in his case, you make it all about the money, right? He wanted more money. He's getting $2.4 million to play college football. 2.4. He signed a contract for 10 years, or for $10 million. 2.4 a year he was guaranteed. And he
this
wanted
kid from Tennessee?
Yeah. Now, allegedly, now the story is he wanted $4 million, and Tennessee was like, no. Like, again, you're a college kid. You're getting $2.4 million to play college football.
But again, think about, I mean, what if he is connected to other athletes, which I'm sure he probably is, and some other kid that he knows that maybe he's considers himself better than is getting, it's like, I feel like it's hard to completely apply motive to what he's doing because we're not privy to whether it's only about money or is it, well, I found out that this guy's making more than me and nobody's being honest with me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that all plays into it. But when, I don't know, colleges need to win, they want to win, but that also at what it costs. If you let this guy hold you kind of blackmail, now you just
well,
and other schools, if they take him, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think he got that money at UCLA. I don't think he got the.
That's what they're saying.
But they haven't released.
Yeah, it's tough to say because I'm so athlete. Like again, if I brought up the it's in Tennessee, so like Peyton Manning. What if Peyton Manning was like, hey, I got an NIL deal for my nephew. He's coming. They would forget about that kid anyways. So it's like
100%.
Surviving is like, do what's best for you. And you got to be smart about it because if you make a wrong decision, it is a game of chess with all these, business contracts and stuff.
Yeah, who are
there
those?
Should be.
Who are those two guys from Iowa that scored 1 point? I don't remember their names.
Kyle Parko, because I picked him.
Yeah.
And he probably would have been fine if he didn't blow his knee out.
Yeah.
Legit, I think, too.
I mean,
And I mean, of course.
But a couple guys from Arizona State that just didn't perform very well.
I think that's the hard part. The hard part really about wrestling is like the season is so tough. And I think this is one of the things that the fans are pretty, the fans want to see the best wrestle all the time, but every single year these guys are getting injured. They're putting themselves in precarious positions by wrestling over 20 times in whatever month period. It's just, it's a gamble to put money down because that they can get injured at any practice you have,
Well, I guess then you look at, program to program training regimen, if you're used to training a certain style, now you go to a new program and, it's a lot different training style. It's probably different wear and tear on your body. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either what happened in Iowa. Might have been the cold. I mean, to be honest, think about it. You guys are old guys, right? Like you feel like the cold different than the heat. If you spend a year in Arizona and then go to Iowa for the winter, like my body is freaking out. I'm telling you, So maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, maybe. Hey, speaking of injuries, I didn't realize Kirkfleet was injured going into the tournament.
Like legit.
Right? Because you never saw any. What's that?
Did you see the picture of him when he was laying in the bed?
No, I did not.
I mean, he probably had ACL tear, but then his other knee was all wrapped up too. Like they went in there and probably cut a little meniscus out or something on the other leg. Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah, and then obviously, what's the guy from Cornell? He said he was in a coma.
Shapiro.
Yeah, Meyer Shapiro.
Yeah, what, seizures, and he was in a coma for like a day or two or something crazy.
Yeah,
from what, like a contusion to the head or something?
Yeah, I think he had some concussion problems. I'm not really sure exactly what caused this but Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were messed up going into the nationals.
How about another thing coming up? How about Kyle Digg jumping 2 weights?
Yeah.
Right.
Why not? I guess, right?
Yeah,
2 weights. What's the second? What? How many weight? What's that mean? What weight is he going to be?
He was at 74 kilos is where he'll compete, but he's going to 86 to compete at the trials or the Open, I guess.
Okay.
So he's going over 79 up to 86.
189.
So like 74 kilos is like what, 150 something, 160?
80. So who's the 86 guy all the time? Was that a?
Wait, he was 162 pounds. Wow.
Yeah, he wrestles at 74 kilos. So he's probably walking around, probably close to 200.
I bet so.
Right? And then, did you see his interview on Flow? Sorry to change the subject, but
that's what we're supposed to do.
And they're talking about how much longer will he compete, and they're talking about changing weigh-in rules for freestyle, I guess. But he brought up his weekly routine, and he's at the Penn State room, and who he would grab to work out with. Monday was Levi, Tuesday it was Messenbrink, and it was just like, no wonder these guys get so good. They're wrestling best guys in the world. And
yeah, I was interested in when he is going to be done.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I got maybe.
Nah. I don't think I was going to do that. I think
Is this where it started? Is this where you were getting this go?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that they know that brands are, but they're getting older. They're in their 50s. And there's a thing in wrestling. You have to be able to show stuff. You have to. I mean, you can talk through it a little bit, sure, but you still got to be able to grab somebody.
How old's Manning?
He's still crazy though. He's crazy as hell though.
Yeah, he's not showing anything. He'll try to show you something, but nobody knew what he was showing.
What do you think? Because they was thinking they lose more guys. They hardly lost anybody from the last year.
Who's that?
Did they give him like 8 years in Nebraska to graduate? I mean, I thought half that team was gone.
Education's a little slower out there, maybe.
Probably, I guess so. All they're doing is farming.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot going on.
They lost. Who'd they lose? The Pinto kid, right?
Yeah, he left out of the portal, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, he's going to Rutgers.
And then they lose Lovett, graduates. So
Rutgers did a good job in the portal. Sort
of. They lost one, got another.
No, I think they got 4 guys.
Yeah, but they lost Dean Peterson.
Yeah.
You don't think he was
that's your guy, Marty.
That's your guy.
Come on.
Marty goes,
be a household name next year.
I'm gonna clip that and send that to the Hawks.
I guess Marty's counting on him for a half a point next year at the tourney.
I guess Marty is coming over to the Pokes.
See, I thought there was serious talk about the kid from North Carolina State, the kid that was a national champ from Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Did
Vincent
you see
Robinson.
his thing on Flow on April Fool's when he announced he was going? That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we're going to try to get him on the Illinois Wrestler podcast. Talk to him.
What about Ferrari going to North Carolina?
Yeah.
Like, what's the draw there? I don't get that move.
I think he's worn out his welcome in a lot of places.
Really?
And they offered a lot of money.
I don't know. I didn't see anything. I was kind of surprised he ended up there. I thought maybe he'd get back into the Big Ten somewhere.
Yeah. No, I heard. I think it was like over $1 million deal, and I mean pay attention to UNC because UNC Rob Cole, and again Rob Cole is not just a great facilitator of a program and stuff from a wrestling standpoint. Yeah, he's a financial expert when it comes to fundraising.
He's had to be. I mean, he was at Cornell, then he was at Stanford, so.
Yeah, so I look at him as somebody who's really going to bring in enough resources to bring – again, this is where I think it's easy to say all the little guys are going to lose, but I think those coaches need to get fired if they're not good at this game. And, Rob Cole is going to make UNC better, and that's traditionally a smaller program. So he's the example of like a good coach could get to a smaller program and do stuff with it.
Well, look who their football coach is.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to make a difference for not just football, for other sports too.
Yeah, it will help. Yeah. And again, I think athletic directors are going to have to start making bigger moves like that. You know, the Oklahoma State type move, and you know, smaller programs are going to have to make you know, effort to kind of compete at this. I mean, again, you know, I heard a lot of this where I was like, oh, the little programs are going to get hurt, but it's like they've always been losing, you know. It's not like, you know, Northern Illinois hasn't been competing for an NCAA title ever.
It'd be nice if you got a guy in there and, you know, the AA that they kind of stay. So you have, you know, hey, Dalton Bullard's still here. We can go and roll with, you know, when you're recruiting, rather than, oh, hey, we did this with Dalton. He's gone. I don't know. I mean, maybe it will help. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it will definitely make the alumni figure it out. Like the alumni are going to have to donate back money, or they're just going to lose the game. So
I give my $5 every year to NIU. We get something.
You get a spot at the dual meet. You got a Dan McName's chair.
No, only if it's free admission. I'm gonna go down.
Yeah. Well, what else are you guys going out of town this weekend? This weekend is open tournament at Belvedere, folk style tournament. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm gonna take some highlights, some videos, stuff like that. I'm gonna try to go and you know, create content around the event. Are you guys, McNames, you said you weren't going to be there this weekend?
I guess we have a family event that I really wasn't privy to, so I'm working on trying to get out of it.
I got you.
But I also like having a happy home, so I don't know.
Yeah. And Marty, are you are you going on vacation?
I'm really busy this weekend.
Yeah.
It's too busy to go to Belvedere.
Yeah.
No, we're actually leaving next Wednesday. We're going to Texas.
Yeah, you've been traveling.
I got to play golf and stuff. It's just, you know, not easy.
It's not easy.
It isn't.
This world is busy. There's always something to do. There's always something you got to miss. Yeah, I'm excited to go. This is the first time I'm going to get to kind of work with a tournament outside of what we did at the state tournament. So that'll be an interesting.
Is it folk style?
Yep.
Speaking of Illinois and state tournament, I didn't see us get nominated for any of the awards for broadcasting or anything. What's going on?
Last year we did.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. What's the deal?
I mean, Andrew Walters gets the Administrator of the Year, and we can't. I mean, come on.
Did he? Did he really get that?
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did.
They had nobody else to pick from, though.
He got the Administrator of the Year. Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick.
Yeah, last year, Dalton, we were at least put up for it.
Well, you know, you're talking about the Illinois coaches and officials.
Yeah, the IWCOA awards. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We didn't make the radar, but we did a good job, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback. So, we don't need awards, McNames. We'll make our own awards up. You know?
We need to, because, you know, if we're going to hit the transfer portal on this podcasting, you know, I need some accolades to support.
Where are you going?
First one out is.
Where are you going, Mart? Where are you going, McNames?
There's been a lot of contact for people.
There's a lot of talk out there, right now.
Big Ten Network.
I mean,
ESPN.
I mean, it's
okay. Well, I'll try my best to retain you.
ESPN Ocho is going to start covering some wrestling. I mean, they need guys that can talk a little bit rather than. Looks like he grabbed his leg.
Well, speaking of that concept, you know, just kind of last thing we kind of can talk about. But what do you think? Where the sport is? You know, the addition of the dual meet tournament next year. The transfer portal is continuing the off-season conversation. Do you think? Where's the sport at right now in your guys' eye, and what's the future look like?
Well, here's the thing that for real is next year Dan and I are going to the national duels, so media passes will be needed, and we will cover the wrestling from there with you when you're at your house. with your child. You'll be busy. And then I won't be that busy. So I think I don't know. I mean, the media, the wrestling. If you don't watch like wrestling in the weekends during wrestling season, it's everywhere now. It's so great. I mean, you can watch any team you want from ESPN Plus, from the Big Ten Plus, whatever, ACC Network. They do a great job. I mean, sports growing.
I think the trajectory is going up for the popularity. I mean, if you looked at the last couple national tournaments, what they've been able to do on ESPN, it used to be, they put commercials sometimes in between during a match. I mean, the coverage has gotten better, and there's so many platforms to watch it on that you're not even aware of. Like Disney Plus has wrestling on there. You just got to scroll down and you can find sports. The more that colleges cover it, even with their own college kids broadcasting it, it puts it out there. I watched a lot of duels of teams that, they're never going to be on the national stage, but their school put it out there and people could watch. So, and the national duels, I think, is going to go a long way to build some.
I do, especially if they get it back in the Midwest.
Yeah,
which they may not, because they got a pretty good backer down in Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma's Midwest, right? Isn't that considered?
It is.
It's a stretch.
Yeah. You can get there in a day of driving.
In the Midwest, you got to be able to grow something.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of in the desertish area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, I think the sport's in a great spot. And I was glad to jump on and catch up with you guys. But we hadn't done it in a while. You guys got anything else?
No, it was a great year.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, all the way around. High school, great season.
Yeah. College wrestling, everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch up another time, and thanks for listening.